Chinese President Xi Jinping publicly called to step down. Disgusting. A customer found a cat's tongue in a grilled sausage. A look at China's delicacies from the trash. Part 2. Flooded twice in half a month. Houses washed away. Villagers missing in Chenzhou. Recently, Chinese nationalists have been angered again by a foreign company. China's housing market is collapsing. Real estate promotions now include buy a house, get a plane. Since August 14th, a video titled "The Boy in the Cornfield Publicly Protests Xi Jinping" has gone viral on overseas platforms, drawing significant attention. The video was filmed with a rural cornfield as the backdrop. In the video, the young man says, "I oppose the CCP's internet censorship and control of speech. No more privileges. We want equality. 3 years ago, they issued a warrant for me as a political criminal, which has caused me to be unable to return home. I want people to see their true colors. They even forced me to accept unfair terms and took 4 routers, a laser speaker and transmission module, and a light-sensitive power control module from my home. The police also took my phone and never returned it. Today, I'm speaking to you from this field. Using the router, I broadcasted a call for Xi Jinping to step down. I oppose their suppression of public dissent. We need freedom of speech and internet freedom. They harass and persecute us offline, using unfair terms that we will not accept." The person who posted the video is journalist Su Yutong. She explained that she shared the video after receiving it from a friend. The friend told her that a young man inside China had courageously challenged the regime and wanted his actions to be made public so that people could see what he was trying to achieve. In her post, Su Yutong stated that the young man is one of the advocates behind the wall removal movement. In the past, he was falsely accused of political crimes and sent to a psychiatric hospital. Su Yutong mentioned that she struggled with the decision to share the video, saying, "I can almost imagine the fate this brave activist will face in the future, even though he's a hacker-level internet expert." The wall removal movement was initiated in March 2023 by a group of dissidents opposing the CCP's authoritarian regime. Their goal is to dismantle China's internet firewall and promote internet freedom. After careful consideration, Su Yutong ultimately decided to respect the wishes of the individual who entrusted her with the video and released it. However, she chose to hide his personal and family information for his safety. 2 days later, on August 16th, Su Yutong posted another video, stating that the young man in the original video had gone missing. As per their agreement, she revealed his personal information and called for public attention. According to reports, the young man is from a town in Chanli County, Qinhuangdao, Hebei Province. He had long been bypassing the Great Firewall to access the internet and engaged in public affairs. He also expressed support for Hong Kong's anti-extradition movement and aligned himself with Taiwan's democratic values and ideals, consistently criticizing the Chinese Communist Party, CCP, and Xi Jinping's authoritarian regime. 3 years ago, due to his involvement in promoting the wall removal movement, he was placed on a wanted list and subsequently confined to the Qinhuangdao Jiulongshan Psychiatric Hospital's mental health center. Su Yutong stated that psychiatric hospitals are the CCP's tools for repression, where many people who resist the CCP's tyranny are forcibly declared mentally ill. Previously, Peng Lifa hung banners protesting on Beijing's bustling Sitong Bridge, followed by another young protester on a bridge in Xinhua County, Lodi City, Hunan Province. Now, a teenager in a cornfield has released a video publicly opposing the CCP regime. Given the recurring nature of these incidents, Hu Ping, honorary editor-in-chief of Beijing Spring, is not surprised. He told Radio Free Asia that during Mao Zedong's repressive rule, there was a strong impulse to publicly speak out, even if it meant paying a heavy price. In the past, the most they could do was to put up posters, but those would be quickly taken down in urban areas, leaving few with the chance to see them. Now, in the internet age, personal demands can be spread much more widely. Hu Ping believes that under such tyranny, there will always be some individuals, perhaps very few, who would rather speak out and die than live in silence. For them, this is not just an empty phrase, it is their deepest desire. Independent commentator Cai Shen-kun believes that the more people who challenge the authorities, the higher the cost of repression for those in power. Peng Lifa, the democracy activist who initiated the protest on Beijing's Sitong Bridge, set a precedent. No one before had directly targeted Xi Jinping himself, and in such a public manner. This is something that the Communist Party's leaders dread and fear the most. Given China's current situation, where the risks are undoubtedly high and both individuals and their families are sure to pay a heavy price, the courage of these young people to stand up is commendable. On the 14th, a netizen posted online that while eating a grilled sausage from a street vendor, they discovered a white thorn in the meat. Unsure of what it was, but feeling both disgusted and suspicious, they shared it online for others to examine. The post quickly gained attention. Many netizens analyzed the image and speculated that the white thorn might actually be a cat's tongue, pointing out that if a cat's tongue is curled up, the barbs are very noticeable. Numerous others expressed shock and disbelief. One commentator said, "Oh my God, is this real? So gross." Another sarcastically remarked, "Though it's disgusting, I'm surprised there's actual meat in the sausage. Turns out it's just cat meat." In fact, using cat meat as a substitute for other meats is not without precedent in China. On October 12, 2023, the quiet town of Taicang in Jiangsu province was shattered by the discovery of an unusual truck. This vehicle, which had departed from Zhangjiagang city, was intercepted by a group of concerned individuals who then reported it to the authorities. The Zhangjiagang police responded swiftly, and officials from the Agriculture and Rural Affairs Bureau were also dispatched to the scene. The truck, which appeared to be an ordinary large transport vehicle, was tightly covered. However, when the cover was lifted, over 1,000 cats were found hidden inside, ready to be transported to the south to be passed off as pork and lamb. Fortunately, the police intervened in time, preventing a tragic outcome. According to those involved, cat meat dealers usually sell cat meat at 4.5 yuan per 500 grams, while mutton sells for about 30 yuan per 500 grams. They admitted that by selling cat meat described as mutton or pork, the difference in price becomes pure profit. A large cat is typically worth about 40 yuan, so catching one means earning a profit of 40 yuan, about $5.6 US. The fate of these cats was to be transported to places like Guangdong, where they would be sold, made into kebabs or sausages, and then served on consumers' tables. Unaware, consumers would buy these products at the price of pork, beef, or lamb, completely oblivious to the substitution. Food safety in China has long been a cause for concern, and in recent months, rats have become a frequent topic of social attention. Following several recent incidents of food containing rats, on August 13th, a netizen posted a video showing a rat stealing noodles in the preparation area near the food service window of the first affiliated hospital of Fujian Medical University's Binhai campus. The viral video shows a black rat perched on the edge of an open plastic container, eating noodles inside at the hospital's cafeteria in Fuzhou, Fujian province. In response, the hospital staff stated that the cafeteria has been temporarily closed pending an investigation. Officials from the Changle District Market Supervision Bureau also visited the scene, ordered the cafeteria to cease operations and implement corrective measures. With these recent incidents in mind, let's take a broader look at the ongoing food safety issues in China. In China, street food might be delicious and affordable, but you can never be sure where those fresh vegetables you just ate came from. They could have been plucked right out of a filthy roadside ditch. In the video, the vendor even thoughtfully removes the rotten leaves before continuing to wash the vegetables. If this makes you swear off street food, thinking that restaurant food might be more reliable, you'd be mistaken. While restaurants may look more civilized and attractive, that doesn't mean their kitchens are any more sanitary. The oil you're consuming might have been recycled from the trash by an elderly woman, scoop by scoop. These videos highlight the unsettling reality that even the most appealing meals might have a disturbing backstory. Not only that, but the meat on your plate might be leftovers from someone else, reserved at your table. It's common for diners to find no meat at all because the bones have already been gnawed on. In China, you might be pleased with yourself for buying a plump, firm chicken, but what you don't know is that it might have been artificially enhanced. From the video, we can't tell what's being injected with this syringe, but it's certainly nothing good. And if one day you buy some meat from the supermarket that looks odd, trust your instincts. It's definitely suspect. In the video, a man discovers that he's bought fake ribs. While they look almost identical to the real thing, a closer inspection reveals how they've been assembled like building blocks. These examples underscore the ongoing challenges of food safety in China, where even the most ordinary meal can be a potential risk. Since July 26, Chenzhou has been hit by heavy rains due to Typhoon Gaimi. On August 14th, with another round of heavy rainfall, the cities of Chenzhou, Yongzhou, Zhuzhou, Shaoyang, and Huaihua in Hunan Province issued flash flood warnings. This marks the second flood in Chenzhou within just 2 weeks. The video shows Dongjiang Lake filled with logs carried by the floodwaters. Witnessing their village submerged, one villager lamented, "I never imagined, not even in my dreams, that things would turn out like this. We had it good, but now there's no going back." However, some villagers have revealed that in the past 2 weeks, the Bamianshan area of Zixing, Chenzhou, has experienced over 1,000 flash floods. Currently, roads in about 20 villages remain buried, with power and communication lines still down. While some roads are passable, severe landslides underneath pose an ongoing risk of further collapse. Additionally, villagers have alleged that this disaster was not a natural one, but a man-made one. The largest hydroelectric station in Longxi collapsed, and the area of Yangjiaping below it was completely leveled by the flood. These hydroelectric stations are reportedly owned by private individuals with government connections, who usually store water for power generation and profit. A widely circulated aerial video shows that after the disaster, the areas along the river in Longxi Township were covered in yellow mud, with many houses gone and landslides everywhere. Mr. Li, a disaster victim from Zixing, reported that nearly all the hydroelectric stations collapsed, and there are no traces left of roads, bridges, or houses. Houses near the river were completely washed away, and those who went missing remain unaccounted for. The death toll is estimated to be at least in the triple digits. Recently, Chinese nationalists have been angered again by a foreign company. At the Isetan Shinjuku department store in Japan, a notice was posted on the stairs leading to the basement. The sign, written only in simplified Chinese, says, "Please note, do not sit on the stairs and do not eat or drink here." According to a report by Japan's FNN, this notice was put up because it was previously observed that several Chinese visitors were sitting on the stairs, using them as chairs. Some weren't just resting, they were actually having picnics, eating food, and drinking beverages on the stairs. As a result, the department store decided to post this notice, but they only wrote it in simplified Chinese. However, this notice quickly sparked strong backlash from many Chinese people. Some Chinese users pointed out that the notice was only written in simplified Chinese and not English or Japanese, which they claimed was discrimination against Chinese people. One Chinese user even said the Japanese don't respect Chinese culture. On the other hand, Japanese users responded by saying that sitting on the stairs is uncultured behavior, and they don't understand what part of this Chinese culture the users are referring to. Some Japanese users also commented that it was because too many Chinese people were sitting on the stairs that the notice was written only in Chinese. People from other countries wouldn't do this in the first place. At present, Isetan has taken down the notice. In recent years, more and more Chinese tourists have chosen to travel abroad to experience different cultures. However, due to long-term communist education, many Chinese people's morals have deteriorated, making them more selfish. This has led people in many Western and even some Asian countries to find these visitors hard to accept. As a result, more and more warning signs in Chinese have started appearing in various countries. In one image from a post in Seoul's Jonggu district, a notice in Chinese reads, "Littering is a criminal offense. If you throw gum, cigarette butts, or waste paper on the ground, you will be fined 50,000 Korean won." In another image from Japan, police officers are seen covered in warning signs written in Chinese, saying, "Don't jaywalk, don't trespass, don't run into the street, don't sit on the crosswalk, and don't park here." In London's media centre, there was also a Chinese warning sign. It read, "Dear Chinese journalist friends, please be considerate of the staff at the London Media Centre. If you would like to take photos of them, please ask for their permission in advance and respect their personal space. Thank you." Additionally, in some public places in London, such as subway stations, parks, and museums, there have been signs written in Chinese saying things like "no spitting," "do not walk on grass," and "no graffiti" on the exhibits. These signs are only in Chinese and have no translations in other languages. In some countries' shopping malls, there are also warning signs written in Chinese, with messages like "surveillance in operation" and "no stealing." While Chinese tourists make fool of themselves, Chinese at home are also frequently exhibiting bad behavior and blind patriotism. Recently, at a Hongxing Erke store in Tongxiang, Zhejiang, a store clerk noticed at the end of the day that an old pair of slippers had been left on the floor, while a new pair of sneakers had disappeared from the display. After looking into it, they discovered that a woman with the last name Wang had swapped her old shoes for the new ones and walked out wearing them. When the police found Ms. Wang, the reason behind her shoe theft was quite amusing. Ms. Wang explained that she had been deeply moved by Hongxing Erke's actions, as last year, Hongxing Erke had donated 5 million yuan's worth of supplies to Henan when there was a disaster, and on July 30th of this year, they announced another donation of 100 million yuan to the Fujian Province Welfare Foundation for the Disabled to help improve the lives of those with disabilities. Touched by these charitable efforts, she went to the Hongxing Erke store, intending to support domestic products by buying a pair of shoes. However, when Miss Wang got to the store, she found that the shoes she liked were too expensive. She kept frowning, reluctant to spend the money. Still, since she was already there, she decided to give them a try. She took off her old slippers and tried on her favorite pair of shoes. She was very satisfied with the style, and the size was just right. She lingered in front of the mirror for a long time, liking the shoes more and more, but the price was still too high for her. Finally, she came up with what she thought was a win-win solution. Surveillance footage shows that Miss Wang first kicked her old slippers into a corner, then put on the new shoes from the store. She pretended to browse other shoes while slowly moving towards the store's exit. When the staff weren't paying attention, she quickly walked out the door and ran off. With solid evidence, the police quickly found Ms. Wang and retrieved the stolen shoes at her home. However, Ms. Wang felt that she shouldn't be considered a thief because she was supporting domestic products. However, many netizens believe that this is just making excuses. One netizen commented, "Taking without asking is stealing, and no matter how grand a reason she tries to come up with, it doesn't change the fact that she stole the shoes from the store. Plus, 255 yuan isn't considered expensive for a pair of sneakers. If Miss Wang was truly strapped for cash, she could have chosen cheaper or discounted shoes. But she deliberately went for an expensive pair, which shows her intent." Another netizen bluntly said, "If that's what patriotism looks like, then her love of the country is too crazy." In the end, Ms. Wang returned to the store, paid the 255 yuan, and apologized. The store clerk accepted her apology. However, her actions still constituted theft, and the police issued her a public security penalty according to the law. China's housing market is collapsing. Real estate promotions now include "buy a house, get a plane." With the real estate market in mainland China struggling, developers are using all sorts of gimmicks to boost sales. Recently, a real estate promotion in Nanjing even included a deal to get a private plane when you buy a house. According to reports from Caixin, the Nanjing branch of China Merchants Shekou launched this promotion at its China Merchants Center property. Customers who buy a house receive a private plane gift package worth 200,000 yuan. The package includes a pilot's license, 100 hours of total flight time, 10 hours per year, and 5% ownership of a private plane. If customers don't want the private plane package, they can exchange it for a cash discount of 200,000 yuan, about 28,000 US dollars. A sales consultant mentioned that this promotion ends in late August, with 4 apartment types participating, ranging in size from 118 to 181 square meters. The media has also raised several questions about this promotional offer. What exactly does the pilot's license entail? What types of aircraft does the total flight time apply to? And what kind of airplane does the 5% ownership refer to? However, the sales office has not responded to these concerns. Observers believe that while this promotion may attract attention, it's unlikely to significantly boost sales. Li Yujia, chief researcher at the Guangdong Province Housing Policy Research Center, pointed out that the so-called buy a house, get a private plane package is more of a marketing gimmick. Developers are likely to use this strategy to generate traffic and gain attention. Deputy Director of the eHouse Research Institute, Yan Yuejin, also commented that this promotion is essentially a disguised form of discounting. One netizen even joked, "Forget about these gift packages. Even if they threw in a free flight attendant, I still wouldn't be able to afford it." At its peak, China's real estate sector accounted for a quarter of the country's GDP. However, since 2021, a series of large developers have defaulted, leaving many construction sites abandoned, and the housing market has plummeted. This downturn has not only impacted China's economy, but also affected Chinese families' wealth, as a significant portion of their assets are tied up in real estate. The real estate sector has since become a major drag on China's economy. As a result, various creative sales promotions have emerged across the country. In 2023, a real estate development in Xi'an launched a buy one, get one promotion. However, the free unit offered wasn't another apartment in the same complex or another property with ownership rights. Instead, buyers were given the right to stay for free at a cultural and tourism project in Hainan from March to November for 3 consecutive years. Reportedly, this Hainan project is located in Sanya, and buyers also received complimentary airport transfers. However, they are responsible for covering utility and property management fees during their stay. In the same year, another developer announced a promotion offering gold with a home purchase. In Foshan, a project offered a special deal during 2 holidays, where buying a house would come with 100,000 yuan worth of gold and a fully furnished move-in ready package. In June 2022, wheat and garlic used as down payments for homes in 2 counties in Henan made it to the top of Weibo's trending list. These 2 real estate projects launched advertisements offering 2 yuan per half kilogram wheat for houses, and 5 yuan per half kilogram garlic for houses. At the same time, a project in Nanjing, Gansu, introduced a watermelon for houses deal, where buyers could exchange watermelons for a discount of up to 100,000 yuan. In Lianyungang, Jiangsu, a polygroup project even offered a deal where buyers could receive a 200-pound pig, including slaughtering services, as a bonus for purchasing a home. Offering pigs with house purchases was another way of providing discounts. In addition, in Yulin, Guangxi, villagers who bought homes were given a subsidy of 10,000 yuan, assistance with enrolling their children in compulsory education, and the local government would even prioritize recommending 3 or more job positions to newly relocated citizens who have yet to find jobs.